We outside. We sitting here with
B. B.
with B.
Yeah.
That's great. That's why I call my daughter B.
Really?
First question: what's the best advice you got for somebody for a kid out there? If you was 18, if you could talk to an 18-year-old right now, what would you say to them? The best advice.
An 18-year-old. That's a tough one, honestly, because 18-year-olds right now are so different than we were when we were
Very
18.
different, right?
Yeah, like way different. Um, I think everybody like around 18 has been kind of taught a little bit, like almost overly taught to love themselves first. And I think that's kind of starting to backfire on us a little bit, honestly. So I would tell them to love somebody else, to be honest with you. I would say love somebody else, love your neighbor, love your family, love your friends. Everyone needs to maybe love themselves a little bit less.
Okay, okay, I feel it. What do you think about like dating nowadays? What is dating like nowadays for you? Like, what do you think about it?
I'm really trying to figure out the whole dynamic of relationships. Seeing as how so many marriages are failing, uh, I I personally wouldn't want to set anybody up to fail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you set people up to fail, you're not really doing justice for anybody, for society, or anybody else. So I would say probably right now, take it kind of slow until we figure out like exactly what relationships are supposed to look like, meaning like what's going to be sustainable for the future, because we don't want any more kids like being born, I don't want to say out of wedlock, but thinking they're born into a failing like family. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times they're going to end up blaming themselves, and it's not really their fault. It's that they're just being put in societies that aren't really like conducive to that, I guess. Like the society isn't so supporting that type of relationship, right? So, and we have to look at like nature too, right? Like biologically, what were we meant to do? Like what's natural to us? If more than half of commitments failing, is there something wrong with the commitment itself? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I think I don't know exactly how it's going to look, but I will say like I'm trying really hard to figure it out.
Okay, I like that. I like that answer a lot. Okay, you think about like all the racial tension. What do you think about that stuff
You
in
know,
2025?
I was surprised to hear that that's really still a thing. And to be honest with you, I think it was kind of a little bit highlighted more than it should have been. I
Hmm.
think that there were maybe some, man, I don't want to call them out, but I'll just go ahead and say it. I think there were some angels that were kind of missing for a while. And I feel like they came back like super late in the game. And it was like, hey guys, like racism isn't really like it's still a thing, don't get me wrong, and I've gotten to see what it's like to walk in the shoes of a black person, and I'll be honest with you, walking into a room and feeling hatred for no reason other than just how you look is the worst, most hurtful thing anybody could ever experience. And the Lord gave me a gift of being able to walk in those shoes, and it hurts. Like God, I wouldn't wish on anybody. I've never really my mom didn't raise me like that to be racist. I'm not really racist against anyone, but when I think about the pain that I felt, like feeling that, just walking in and getting a dirty look, or walking in and having someone at the register kind of staring at me the whole time I'm in there, is like really, really like the worst feeling that there is. So please, please, just try to remember, like God's everywhere.
Right.
God's can be anywhere. God's watching you at any time, and that person that you're ugly to, that could be God. And that's been God for me. So just treat everybody the same. Please treat everybody the same. Like everybody. And if you treat everybody the same, you have nothing to worry about. Meaning, like, treat a homeless guy the same as a billionaire, the same as a black man, the same as a white man, Asian, Native American, Indian, like anybody in between, like everybody. Treat them all the same, and you'll have nothing to worry about.
Sure. I like it. I like it. Yeah, you're right. The worst thing is the police. I think about being black is the police just mess with you for no reason. I hate that. You can't have a good time. What is your biggest fear? Oh shit!
Uh, we're talking
What's your biggest
like
fear?
literal fears, probably. I mean, honestly, the only thing I'm afraid of is scorpions. No, but no, that's just my biggest like physical fear. I think for anybody, My fear would be something happening to my kid. Really,
Oh yeah.
anything happening to anyone's kid, that's going to be their biggest fear. A bigger fear for me than that would probably be people being afraid in general that something's going to happen to their kid. You know, I recently was talking to someone like an Asian, like someone in Asian culture, and basically they were like they were hiding the birth of an important person, right? And it should have been a celebration, right? And it wasn't. It was a celebration, but it was also like a fear. It was like a very much hiding it, right? And somebody in I think like South America, Mexico is kind of a similar situation. They had an important birth too, and they're kind of like talking, like we're all kind of talking through God, you know, and it's kind of at a round table, but not. It's like a round table of the mind, you know. But basically, they were like Asia and Mexico. I think it was Mexico. They were like in agreement. They're like, no, we're not going to be afraid. We're not going to fear the birth of these important people. We're not going to hide them and hide their names and hide everything because we're afraid something's going to happen to them. That's not the world that we want to live in. Mm-hmm. That's not the world we want to live in. You know, back in ancient times when an important person was born, that was celebrated. That was like the whole world went silent, got on the rooftop and yelled like happiness, you know? And now it's like, okay, nobody tell anyone, you know, just in case. Well, like they said before, the only thing to fear is fear itself, right? And the more that you amplify fear, the worse it gets.
That's why I think the world is so messed up because they got everybody scared on the edge of their seat.
Yeah, I think that's true. If everybody's afraid, then it also leaves a lot to the imagination. Right. If you think about it, right? Because if nobody knows who you are, they can imagine who you are. If nobody knows who you are, they can listen to a lot of rumors about who you are, like a dangerous, evil so and so, right? Mm-hmm. But then when you come out and you talk to these people and you're like, wait a minute, you're not that bad. Right. You're just a human being, same as me, right? None of us are really that bad. So why do we all think this and think that? The media has a lot to do with it. So hopefully once they get that figured out, you know, things will start to be more peaceful, more happy, and there won't be fear anymore, hopefully.
Yeah, do you think we need a reset on the internet? Like just start over?
No, I mean not necessarily. I think that maybe the internet, I'm not really sure how it works, like as far as platforms go regarding like worldwide platforms. Mm-hmm. Like I know, like you know, Facebook has where you know you can talk to people from other countries and stuff. But to be honest with you, I'm not very technically like savvy at all. Like I'm kind of old school, like kind of age. I don't even have a cell phone most of the time. I want to go back to like home phone, like dial up.
That'd be cool.
That's just how I am. But it's just because I feel like we kind of socially suffered because we became too reliant on, like, I don't want to say social media, but kind of like on technology for being our friend, right? Mm-hmm. So if you have technology as your friend, and technology is not going to reject you, technology is not going to hurt your feelings, and I mean it can if you read all the comments, etc., right? But right. It's not gonna stand you up, right? It's not gonna not show up when it say it's gonna come over, things like that. And it's a shame that it became like that, but hopefully it could get a little bit back to more interactive, more one-on-one or group I would say group fun, but yeah, like, you know, more outdoor stuff, more sports, more things like that, more anything you do on the internet you could do with friends. On the internet, still if you want to stay on the internet, it's fine. Just go to a friend's house and do it, I guess.
What's one thing you love about black people?
I say it like right away. I thought soul, their passion, and they're so funny. Like they're so funny. Oh my god. Like I love how funny they're. I love like the way that they dance, and I love that they don't overthink things. If you're ever like with a group of black people, like that's the thing I think I like being around them the most. They're not overthinking like their reputation. They're not overthinking like, oh, what are people gonna think of me? Like and because they're not overthinking thinking it everything, they're like very witty, like they're very funny, like they're in the moment, you know, right. And it's just like such a beautiful thing.
One thing you like about Mexican people?
Mexicans, their culture, their passion, the food, probably like, I would say their sense of like family, la familia. You know, it's like You go over there, it's like it's not just visiting each other like once a year. It's like every weekend. Every birthday, every holiday, everything gets celebrated. My ex husband, he was white, and not just like put them down, but I just felt sorry for them, I guess, in a way, right? Like, what do you mean you only see your family once a year? Like, what the heck? Like, why is that? Like, that's not right. And the parents, you could tell they're just kind of desperate for their children, and the children are just like, no. And I think there's probably some way to bridge that gap. There's probably something more to it that I haven't figured out yet. But as soon as I figure out, I mean, I have every intention of helping them too. There are some good things about white people. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love my, hi sir, like I love my own, right? As a white person walks by, like, thank you. And I don't want to leave out my Asian friends because I do love Asians. They're quite a bit. I mean, and I know it's not like a huge Asian culture in San Antonio, but I will say that they're extremely smart. They're extremely patient, and more than that, they have a lot more faith than people realize that they have. They are a lot more in touch with their God than and their God and gods than we hear about, because to them it's a very private, sacred relationship that they have with God. But I'm going to tell you what, gods hear them. God and gods, depending on your religion, the gods hear Asians louder and louder, and as well as Middle Eastern people. Yeah. Gods hear them. All those people, like, people don't realize this about them, right? Middle Easterns, they also have a lot of passion. All of them praying at the same time in the world. All of them praying at the exact same time. It's for all that energy went straight up. And I just want to let them know that Allah heard them for sure. Allah is here, and He heard them, and He's gonna fix things for them. Only way is up. TV. Yeah.